Greetings, guten tag, hola, bonjour, good morning, ohayo gozaimasu. The sun is shining, and the magpie is casting. Come meet you guys right now with a live 1 versus 1 battle, fresh from the ladder. Featuring, spawning in the east, it's going to be the #1 Soviet-rated player on the ladders, Jove. And spawning in the west, it's going to be HOI-Chess Master and the overcommand forces thereof. I actually didn't check, but so I have no idea where he's rated. I'm guessing he's pretty highly rated because he's been match made up against the almighty Jove. So yes, hopefully a good game ahead of us here. Now I just cast a battle with Jove, and it seems like he's kept his commander lineup from that battle. HOI-Chess Master is going to be bringing Luftwaffe ground forces. Sorry, no, wait, that's elite armoured. Ooh, oh, man after my own heart. Now this is a guy I always keep handy when I play as overcommand. I really like him. Sometimes you find yourself at 11 command points with the money for a Storm Tiger, and you haven't already picked a commander, and you think to yourself, you know what? I need something blowing up in a big way, and that's why I keep this guy on the roster. He does have some other uses, I suppose. You can use the signal relay for occasionally and be useful, and occasionally high explosive anti-tank shells might make a difference in a fight. I don't know, sometimes. He's also got the fortifications doctrine, and he does have Luftwaffe ground forces doctrine. There he is. So yes, the map today is going to be Kolodny Farmer, but we've already got some scuffles underway, so I will not pan around. Looks like these Storm Pioneers are going to catch these conscripts out, but the conscripts are going to use Hoorah there to get on out of the fire zone, get on out of that point-blank DPS region, which is so fearsome on Storm Pioneers. Going to just jump into this building, check the line of sight, see if there are any other forces nearby. Seems like HOI-Chess Master has put down some spicy things here to stop the Allied forces from using the cover there on that Panzer. That's pretty nice stuff. So yeah, as I was saying, Jove, #1 rated Soviet player, HOI-Chess Master must be pretty highly rated. So we can assume that this is a very high level of play that we're going to see here. Seems like these Volksgrenadiers are going to be forced back by a conscript squad and an engineer squad at the correct range. Kubelwagen, this is of course the Nubelwagen, which doesn't suppress and does capture. Going to be moving out onto the field. No tech building here from Jove. Now I just cast a game from Jove where he was playing against Wehrmacht. He went for a very fast tech one, went for the old clown car with flamer engineers in. So I wonder if he's just changing it up, or I wonder if this is just in response to the fact that he's now playing against Overcommand West. That'd be something I'd like to actually ask him about, because, well, it would just be interesting to hear his opinion. So anyway, these Storm Pioneers, now I believe that the cover that they're in is not actually protecting them at this angle. I think the conscripts are actually able to ignore that. Yeah, look at the hits coming through. So those Storm Pioneers trading pretty badly. They're going to have to fall back, and they will. A lot of veterancy. There we go, 2/3 of a level of veterancy on those conscripts. Storm Pioneers, you have to be very careful with taking hits on them, because they feed so much veterancy to units hitting them. So HOI-Chess Master there, letting his guard down just for a split second. Got eight Volksgrenadiers here, going to be trading with these conscripts in cover. That's a fight that they should take. Wow, yeah, wow, they're picking them down really fast. How is that happening? I don't know. 3 squads of conscripts here on the field, and it seems like the engineers fell back, and they have constructed the tier 1. The clown car is now on the way, so not as early as it was in the game that I previously cast. Seems like possibly in response to the map, Jove prioritising spreading out and capturing his forces. Of course, this is a bigger map than Langravskaya, so that could be the reason. Kubelwagen here is taking a great engagement against these conscripts, picking them down, and is going to force the fallback from those units, I would have thought, before they get the capture as well. So frustrating stuff for Jove there. We've got another scuffle here in mid. The Volksgrenadiers are going to get up in this building, and what the? A 42-point lead already? Wow. Chess Master has really gone after those victory points with a vengeance. I mean, I know he's only holding 2-1 at the moment, but he's pulled up like a 45-point lead at like the 4-minute mark. That's some tidy work. And although it doesn't mean much at this stage in the game, when you're all gasping for tickets if the game goes super late, that makes a big difference. Believe me, you would trade like a lot of stuff for 45 more victory points in the super late game. So that's pretty important. Here comes the first Schwer of a Max Schlepper. Remember, of course, you have to build those. 100 manpower, 15 fuel. That's going to be deploying into a battle gripper headquarters in what I think is quite a nice position. Not as far forward as he could be, but at this high level of play you don't want to be super risky with your trucks, because a player like Jove is going to know how to punish that really nicely. He's played a lot of games. He knows how to take apart an overcommand truck, I would have thought. So, yeah, Battle Gripper HQ going to get deployed into a safe and decent position, I think. Kubelwagen's going to come on down here and help out in the south. Now, the clown car is down. The engineers with the flamethrower are in it. Storm Pioneers here kind of taking some shots from cover against the clown car, which could come in for a dive. But you have to remember, Storm Pioneers' DPS at point blank, as in within flaming range, is so fierce that I think that the scout car may actually not want to have a go at them. Anyway, you know what, I would say actually the clown car possibly more effective against Overcommand, because remember, Volksgrenadiers, and indeed no units for the Overcommand unless you get Fallschirmjägers, have the Panzerfaust, so no Panzerfaust available to HOI-Chess Master. And I wonder if that's gonna affect him. Anyway, you know what? I only know one of these kanji here. I'm trying to have a guess at what this means, but I can kind of vaguely see the others. You know what? I'm not even going to embarrass myself. So, Kuba Wagon, remember this thing can now capture, and it captures pretty quick, so he's just going to dart through the lines to decapture this fuel point, just going to steal some fuel effectively, just deny it from Jove, so that's frustrating. These conscripts are going to have to spend some time capturing this point. That's annoying. That's annoying. A 210 manpower unit comes in and spends less time than you have to spend with a 240 manpower unit to recapture the point. So using the Kuba Wagon for what it's now designed for, I suppose. Clown Car is going to capture this munitions point, because of course remember, since it does have infantry inside of it, it can capture points. A Panzerschreck has come... Wow, that's an early Panzerschreck. That's got to be in response to the fact that... well, actually, you know what? It's not that early. We're at 6 minutes now. That's got to be, of course, in response to the fact that there's a Clown Car on the field, so he's going to look to bully the Clown Car, if he can, with the Panzerschreck. These Volks gonna fan out back to the north, gonna grab the victory points, and I like the priority that HOI-Chess Master is putting onto those victory points. He's really focusing it, and he's got a decent lead now, up to 64-point lead, so pretty good. I mean, I know he's under the clock right now, so that lead is decreasing, but he's done well to get that out. Now, Sniper Squad entering the field here for Jove, so that's always a good choice against Overcommand. Snipers do good work against Overcommand. Most of their infantry is very expensive, but an incendiary grenade comes down, and Jove, if he's not paying attention, he's going to lose this squad. Wow! He loses a squad of conscripts in a very quick time there. The incendiary grenade, combined with the fire from the Kuba Wagon and the squad, he's going to axe one of those conscript squads. And now I worry for Jove a little bit, because he's only got 2 squads of conscripts, really, being his frontline infantry. And of course, remember, conscripts pretty soft. I mean, they do go down very rapidly. I know you get 6 in a squad to compensate, but until they get to veterancy 2-3, they're pretty fragile units. I believe it's veterancy 3, they get a survivability bonus? No. Well, definitely on one of the veterancies they do. I remember seeing it in some patch notes a while ago. Unless they reverted that change, but I don't think they have. Chess Master has, of course, chosen his commander. He's gone for the Fortifications Doctrine. That's allowing him access to the Machine Gun 34 team. And we see one of those entering the field now for the Overcommand player. Now let's see, where have these snipers decided to set up shop? They've set up shop here, and they're just going to be picking down this Rakettenwerfer, I imagine. Boom! There goes one of the guys from that team. Wow, the Rakettenwerfer gets a return shot, though. It's unlikely they'll be able to achieve much, though. LMG-34 going to take the place of that Rakettenwerfer, and the snipers are going to reposition for now, possibly looking to move up north, where there's some Overcommand infantry making some gains. The Kuba Wagon now is at 1-star veterancy, and I bring that to your attention because, of course, that's when it unlocks this detection ability here, which is pretty useful. That detects infantry units on the minimap for a large radius, and most Overcommand players will use that ability to good effect when they have it. It's very useful. I cheekily refer to it as cheat mode, because sometimes it feels like you're cheating. I mean, being able... It's like map hacks or something, you know? You can just see where your opponent's moving and, like, deploy your units correspondingly, which is, you know, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I just heard a sniper fire. Here we go, Soviet Sniper Squad here, taking some shots at these Volks Grenadiers. Let's wait for the next one. He said. There it is. Yep, so that one was a hit. Does pick off one of these Volks Grenadiers, but we've got another squad of Volks and a Kuba Wagon coming in here in response. We may see... No, we're not going to see an incendiary grenade. That would have been a waste of this range. That many Volks will force this squad back with or without an incendiary grenade, so you'd basically be wasting your 30 munitions. Is it 30? Yeah, 30 munitions. So, anyway, conscripts making some work, getting some work done in the south. These conscripts are at the moment unopposed, so they could probably capture this point and maybe even this one, unless a unit is sent to deal with them. And here comes some Storm Pioneers to do just that. Now let's see how this fight is taken. He needs to put away the metal detector if he's to take this fight, and he does in good time. Chess Master really on top of things there, and that's going to force the fallback from Jove. So these Storm Pioneers addressing the situation in the south of the map. Another squad of conscripts though coming in to be the replacement. Now let's take a look here. No second Schwerer Max Schlepper yet from Chess Master, and he's banking up a little bit of fuel now. So I wonder if he's going to look to get that next truck. In fact, look, it's on the queue just now. Sorry, I should have been paying more attention. Yep, so the next truck is coming on out. The tech for the Allied player, no additional tech, so he's relying on just tier 1 at the moment, and I wonder if he's leaving that a little bit late. He needs to bring back some engineers and think about building another building. He has some manpower, he has some fuel, so he can really look to do that. Now, let me just... oops. So the 240 is the amount of manpower he needs to throw down the Tankovy Battalion command. So look to see that come down once he has that. Now, score lead at the moment is like 84 tickets, I believe, no, sorry, 76 tickets for the Axis player. So still working on that lead, and these Storm Pioneers are helping him guarantee that by capping in the south. Oh, this Kuba Wagon's super low though. I think these conscripts will take it. Yep, and they will. So slight slip up there from Chess Master. Of course, the conscript is fast enough and has enough armor these days that you can usually kite it out of danger rather than leaving it to die by trading with rifles like that. So a little slip up there from Chess Master, but these things happen, and Kubelwagons are never long for this world. Or at least it's a rare Kubelwagen that is. A Molotov comes down into a building, but a good dodge from Chess Master, who's aware of this situation. Gonna get his Volksgrenadiers into the heavy cover, but of course this is a fight that he will lose at this range against 6 conscripts. Yep, there we go. He's gonna have to fall back that squad of Volksgrenadiers. Crucially though, he does secure the cut-off point, and right now, if I crack the tack, you can see by capturing this point here, he's cut off a munitions point, a fuel point, and a regular point, so a decent capture there for the Axis player, looking to curtail the tech advancements of the Soviet player. I mean, right now, actually, double the fuel income for the Axis player over the Allied player, so he's created a little window here where he can pull ahead. Whoa, these Storm Pioneers are super low, falling back across negative cover with this Clown Car in pursuit, which is flaming him. And you have to think this is the end of the expensive Axis engineer squad. I believe they're 300 manpower now. Whoa, burned to death in his prime. So let's take a look here. I believe they're 300 manpower now, or are they 320? 300 now, yeah. So that's 300 manpower, quite an expensive squad, and Storm Pioneer is one of those squads that you really can't get by without. Now, having lost that squad, look at the top left, look at the top right. It's 42 supply over 27. HOI-Chess Master is beginning to be spread just a little thin right now. He's got very little manpower in the bank as well, so it's not like he's not spending. Schwerover Schlepper gets deployed right here. Wow, he has nothing spotting, so a Soviet attack, I mean, hypothetically, could be coming from here. Now, as it happens, there isn't one, but this is a risky position to deploy it in. I can see why he's deploying it here, though. I mean, it covers one of the victory points, and it goes to some way to covering these points, including this munitions point. So a valuable placement here. But I suppose with the LMG-34 here, it's not so risky as I thought actually deploying it here. So fair enough there, fair enough. Chess Master going to get the Panzer HQ a nice deployment into a nice location. And let's take a look here. We've got any other tech buildings? Tier 1 is coming down for Jove. Okay, so this is going to enable him obviously to deploy Zisguns, Mortar Squads and Maxims, which does significantly diversify the options he has and enable him to tackle a much wider range of circumstances. But right now, seeing as how he's still basically up against an all-infantry force, no need to sort of, I don't know, commit to a specific hard counter type unit yet. Now these conscripts are going to get up in the grill of these Volksgrenadiers. They have a stretch. And this should be a fight that the conscripts should take, but the Volks are somehow holding. These Volks need to fall back now. This is 1 rifle and a Panzerschreck against 3 rifles, and I know who I favour at that range. Oh, it's like watching a slow motion car crash. I can't help but watch this fight. Oh no, please don't lose this. Please don't lose this 3-star Volksgrenadier. Oh dearie me, that was super close. That would have been a terrible drop if he'd have lost that squad there, just, you know, through inattention. The Rakettenwerfer comes forward into a very advanced position, engaging camouflage there, and that must be looking for the Clown Car, which is parked right now in the base, waiting for an opportunity to be useful again, I suspect. Oversoldaten have now hit the field. The LMG-34 upgrade comes down on them, and they're going to look to do some work on these conscripts here, and they will. Meanwhile, we've got some Volksgrenadiers just trading with conscripts here. And has the forward fallback research come down? Yes, it has. So this is a forward fallback point here for HOI-Chess Master. That's going to enable him to keep his forces in the fight for longer and be far more efficient with his units. So that's pretty good. This LMG-34 is in a good position, but I think with this Panzer HQ here, it's a little bit redundant. The Panzer HQ has almost the same range and also suppresses units. So I would really like it if he would somehow try and take this building. Oh, there's a Maxim in this building. The arc on that Maxim, not the best. It turns now, but a little late. These Volks have already flanked it. So we're going to see an incendiary for sure. Yep, here comes the incendiary grenade. Bang. And that may force the Maxim out. Yeah, he's going to get the Maxim out. And now I would love it if he leapfrogged his MG-34 into that building. That would be a really good position to have the MG-34 in. Scout car again being active for the Soviet player, and we've got a unit of conscripts here capping in the south. So we've got a quiet moment here, so let's crack the tack here and have a look at how things are looking. I mean, it's been a more or less even game. Slight ticket lead for the Axis forces, I believe. Yeah. Whoa, slight ticket. That's like a 150-point ticket lead now. So a decent ticket lead for the Axis player. Both armies, I would say, approximately the same size, and a nice composition for both players as well. Although I do worry that Jove doesn't have any anti-tank. And let's just check the fuel for the Axis player. He's got enough fuel for a Panzer IV, but he's actually going to keep saving. So I'm guessing we're going to see a Panther or something. Oh no, here comes the Panzer IV, just as I say that. So the Panzer IV is coming on out here for HOI-Chess Master, and I worry that Jove doesn't have any anti-tank. He doesn't have any ZIS guns. He's got a support armor core, so a tank of battalion command, so he could get an Su-76. That would be a really smart choice, actually. An Su-76 would be really nice, because of course it's got a really very potent anti-tank gun on it, but it also can fire indirect barrages and is effective against infantry. So that would be quite the nice choice. We'll have to see what the choice is from Jove, our Soviet player here. Snipers, how many kills are they up to? 13. Oof, nice work. And a potential squad wipe coming down on this LMG, actually. Bang! Gets it. So, sorry, that's an HMG. The MG34 goes down. Sniper squad claiming another scalp there. And these conscripts here, again, Jove just being consistent here and just trading for a lot of time, using these sandbags on his conscripts, using those massive speed bumps for the Axis forces, because ordinarily these conscripts would be falling back. This squad would be that point would be being capped. This point would be being capped. But he's just bought himself a little bit more time, and as I said in the previous game, it's these small things that make a big difference at the high level. Whoa, Panzer HQ takes no prisoners with that scout car, going to blow it up. The engineers managed to get out in time though, so these Flame War engineers, which are 2-star, going to get out, and that's definitely a worthy save. Here comes the Panzer IV, and that's going to reveal itself. Now there's still no AT from Jove. There's a ZIS gun on the queue, but of course that's going to be a bit late, because the Panzer IV is here right now. Sorry. Oh, I explained in a previous cast, I do have a sore throat at the moment, and my throat is beginning to give up on me. So let's just take a sip of water here now. Oh, dear me. So, Panzer IV gets a good hit on those conscripts as they try to fall back. So, okay, now I wonder, I mean, a single ZIS gun is not enough. That is not enough anti-tank. I mean, a Panzer IV can just flank and kill that, even if it takes a hit or two. And Jove has chosen his commander. He's gone for the Soviet industry tactics once again. So let's see if it works for him better this time than it did before. Now last time he went straight for a KV-8. The Allied supply drop gets shot down, so no bonus fuel will be forthcoming. The Panzer HQ just says no, which I feel is a little harsh. How many? So it's 100 munitions, and it comes in and drops some fuel for the Allied player. So 100 munition gambit there, lost out. The best time to use this, I've found when I play against the Axis forces, especially Overcommand, is if you're engaging the Panzer HQ, usually with a tank or something. So the Panzer HQ is whacking away at your units, and then you call in the aircraft, and it can't shoot it down because it's already shooting your units. And this building cannot be microed by the Overcommand player. Pro tip. So you know, they can't just tell this to shoot the airplane. They can't tell it to shoot any particular unit. It's just fully AI controlled. It will just shoot what it feels like shooting. Oh, 3-star squad of Volks is going to be forfeit here as the KV-8 comes rampaging through. Panzer IV and a Rakettenwerfer in a good position though, and this KV-8 is in a little bit of jeopardy. I would imagine the Panzer IV will chase, but if it does, there's a ZIS gun here which is going to screen it off, and actually, Chess Master smells the trap, and he's just going to back on off to a shady location and hang on out in the shade here. Crew on the inside of that one just going to take a moment, maybe just roll up a little cigarette there and just chill. They're just going to sit back here. I wonder if they did smoke on the inside of a Panzer IV, because I mean that's an environment filled with explosive objects and fuel. Probably they weren't allowed to smoke inside the Panzer IV. I'm just guessing, but probably they still did anyway. I don't know. Do people smoke inside tanks? I have no idea. Surely not. Surely not. Nah, you wouldn't do that. Anyway. So anyway, you're going to max him here in a decent position. That's going to look to hop into this building as soon as it can. There were some mines, I believe. Yeah, mines trying to be set up here by the Axis player, but interrupted were the Storm Pioneers halfway through. Where have the Obersoldaten been this whole time? They've just been policing the north. Up to 10 kills on that unit. Happily hosing down conscripts all day. Obersoldaten will cut through conscripts all day. They love it. They absolutely love it. So yeah, they're just policing the north right now. Meanwhile, down in the south, we've got a scuffle here between conscripts behind the good old sandbags here from Jove. And some Volksgrenadiers here, but Jove beginning to fall behind quite substantially in the tickets lead. Chess Master has been quite meticulous about maintaining control over those. LMG-34 has been replaced in that, MG-34 in that building. ZIS gun barrage comes down on the building though. Ooh, that's going to force the reposition, and this Rakettenwerfer is kind of close to where those shells are landing. He has to be careful with that. Here comes the KV-8, and the Rakettenwerfer for some reason does not fire. Wow, I wonder if that was just a fog of war or something. Panzer IV here is going to get snared by an anti-tank grenade, you have to feel. And that's going to make this fight very difficult to take. The ZIS gun needs to, actually, yeah, the ZIS gun turns to get the Panzer IV in arc, and that's going to keep the Panzer IV out of this fight. It may even get a hit here. I believe it's going to get a hit. Bang! Smack. Oh, a glancing hit, so not doing the full damage there. Unlucky for Jove. But this KV-8, if it gets in range of these buildings, is going to be really nasty. He starts flaming up the Volksgrenadiers, and if he can get the KV-8, if he just drives it here, I mean, that's super risky because the Panzervolk can come to rear armor, but there's a lot of targets you can burn here. And this is your opponent's forward fallback point, so, you know, you stand to get a few squad wipes if that happens. I mean, quick thinking over command players will just turn off the fallback point and fall back to the base, but that way they're forfeiting their building, so, you know, it's still not exactly a win for the overcommand player. Panzer IV here, very awkwardly positioned. It's reversing in. What is going on here? Chess Master, heads up, buddy. Your tank's facing the wrong way. Woof, and there's a Zisgun looking to capitalize, so that would have mattered. Wow. Yeah, you know, I don't want to see. This has been a really good game so far. I don't want to see a Panzer IV just get spontaneously lost because a player drove it in the wrong way. That would be an unfitting move for such a good game that has been so far so tense. And these conscripts probably want to be in the capture zone, actually. I imagine Jove thinks that they are, because these engineers are going to run on and grab the victory point, which obviously has to be his priority. These conscripts, too, idle at the moment. Now, clearly Jove is saying he'd rather look after this victory point than move out and cap other points, and I have to say that's probably the right decision. It's very close, because the points here are only regular points. They're not like fuel points or anything. If they were fuel points, he'd certainly be moving forwards. But as it is, happy just to look after that point. The trip flare is being used here. Very rare that you see this being used from Soviet players. Is that... No, wait, that's not... Is that a Soviet ability? That must be, yeah. Wow, crazy stuff. Anyway, here comes the KV-8. Whoa, Obersoldaten going to get burned up. That's going to put a lot of veterancy onto the old heavy tank here. Panzerschreck gets a good hit onto the front armor, but the KV-8 has a lot of health. It's a big old beast. And that is doing work here. Now, where's the Zisgun in all this? Quite far back because it's quite wounded. That does make a lot of sense. He needs to merge this with a conscript squad. For those of you who don't know, Soviet players have the option they can merge conscript squads with their weapons teams, which basically brings the weapon team up to full health by using members of the conscript squad. So you can kind of use your conscripts to reinforce in a forward position, and then you fall the conscripts back and reinforce them and then bring them back. So yeah, the old merge ability is pretty cool. But it looks like actually the Zisgun's just going to walk on back home and heal and reinforce the old-fashioned way, so fair enough. Wow, a couple of squads of Soviet infantry doing some real good work, capping this victory point up in the north. That's going to put the Axis forces under the clock for the first time in some time. And like the Obersoldaten are going to respond, but this fuel point has also been taken, so making some headway with the resources for the is Jove. Whoa, we got a flak 88, what is this, the PaK-43. Getting deployed in a fantastic position. Well, actually, you know what, I say that. This building's kind of annoying. But I believe the gun will shoot straight through that building, so that should provide quite the measure of protection against a KV-8. Now, we've got an Su-85 as the choice here for Jove. Interesting stuff. I'm loving this because everybody's been really, like, hitting on the, or, like, you know, just sledging this the Su-85, saying it's a really bad unit and the Su-76 is superior in many ways. And yeah, the Su-76 is superior in many ways. But the Su-85 has enough edges for my money that I still think it's a very good tank destroyer. It's also quite a cheap tank destroyer relative to other tank destroyers in the game. And it has focused sight and it has a high rate of fire. I just think it's a very good unit, and I still enjoy using it. I've always enjoyed using it, in fact. So, like, I still think that the Su-85 is really good, and it's nice to see players like Price, players like Jove, players at the top end of the game using the Su-85. Now, they might disagree with me. They might still think it's an underpowered unit. I don't know because I can't ask them. I'd like to actually. That would be a nice thing to talk to them about. So he might be using this begrudgingly, like, oh god, I have to build an Su-85 Tusk. But you know, whatever. It's nice to see that it still has a place in the game, and I still think it's a good unit. And you know what? For all I know, Jove might think it's a good unit as well. So anyway, more scuffles going on here in mid. The Axis player needs to secure the north, but he's being denied. These Volksgrenadiers were tasked with capturing this point, but they've been forced back. Panzer IV going to do some work against these conscripts, looking to get himself veterancy level 1 on that unit, which it has not managed to do, actually. That Panzer IV hasn't really achieved a lot of anything. I suppose it has kept the KV-8 at bay to some extent, but the Su-85 is going to deploy up to the north. There's this gun also coming up to the north. So, that Panzer IV is going to get screened out. Yeah, he probably wants to... Of course, well, if I turn on Fog of War, you can see the problem here. Eh? Okay, well, whatever. Those two units can't see each other is the point. So that's this gun not firing at the Panzer IV there. Using a mortar squad, a PM41. This is some pretty rare units we're seeing here. Like, again, the PM41 is a much maligned unit that many players think is totally inferior to the German GR34. And I will agree, it is inferior to the GR34 because the Soviet mortar has accuracy on its side, whereas the GR34 has rate of fire on its side, and in a mortar, rate of fire is generally going to get you better results than superior accuracy. So it just so happens that, you know, the Soviet mortar just kind of got the short end of the stick, but, you know, it's got a 6-man crew to make up for it, so that's pretty good as well. And I just think it's a really good unit. Every time I build one of these mortars and don't lose it through some foolishness, it goes on to do very, very well, in my opinion. Fight in the south here, these Oversold Art. I'm going to use a, that's a frangible, no, it's a bundle grenade. Boom, I'm going to catch just one conscript, but the Molotov does some good work. Actually, you know what, I don't think that Molotov actually caught any of the Oversold Art. I'm very lucky for the elite Axis troops. And 402 over 238, so Chess Master beginning to lose some of his lead, Jove beginning to slowly catch up. Now, Chess Master was floating a lot of fuel, and it seems, yeah, there we go, he's bought another Panzer IV. Interesting choice. Not sure I like it. I think a Panther would have been better, but you know what, actually, when it comes to raw tank-destroying power, he has the Pack 43 right here, so yeah, maybe he's just fine, actually, maybe he's just fine. Sneaky choice, actually, would be a Kubelwagen, because if you park the Kubelwagen here, Kubelwagens have decent line of sight, and that would probably see to the edge of the Pack 43's range, and the, you know, the KV-8 and the SU-85 haven't been manoeuvring out here, so you would have gotten a couple of hits through that. I mean, you might have lost the Kubelwagen as well, though, so I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but what I'm saying is if you could figure out a way to get some line of sight out there, that would be really nice. You know what he could also do, actually, is just camouflage the Rakettenwerfer and just, like, park it here or something. That would provide line of sight quite nicely. Sneaky as well. Panzer IV is going to redeploy down to the south. It doesn't have any infantry in support. The infantry are following on. So, I mean, there's no opportunity for Jove to kill the Panzer IV, but it's kind of annoying that he's not, that the infantry aren't capping as soon as the Panzer IV arrives.
Crew, get ready.
Making some advances in the north. Mortar squad getting some hits in. Where are they firing? Oh, taking out this LMG, this machine gun team, sorry. Let's see that Soviet accuracy. Urgh. Come on, next shell. Oh, falls just long, but you can see, look at the clustering here. I mean, that's pretty tight. Soviet mortar definitely does have the accuracy on its side. As I just pause here for a sip on my drink. So the SU-85 is in a really awkward position, actually. This is, for my money, this is just too close. I think it would be better like parked here or something, because you always want to. The SU-85 like, never think of it as a tank. It's basically a mobile Zis gun. It is a sniper at the best of times. Whoa, these Oversold Art coming forward, but they're going to get flamed up. There we go. Instantly comes the fallback, and that is required. The KV-8 just doesn't take prisoners. Like, you've just got to fool your units back. Wow, a Katushka is the choice for Jove. Oh, I'm loving this choice. This is very nice. Because, I mean, he kind of has everything a little bit secured. His enemy's at arm's reach, and this Katushka can just start barraging. I mean, look at this concentration of money here. This is all expensive stuff. And I think HOI-Chess Master, there we go. His heart must be sinking right now. Here comes the Katushka barrage. Boom, 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 boom. And now he has to start thinking about spreading all these units out. He has to start thinking about repairing his trucks. He's immediately losing men on these squads. Oh, the Pack 43 getting very lucky so far. Oh, there we go. There's a good hit. That takes it down. All it takes is a couple of hits. This big gun is actually very fragile, or at least the crew on it are very fragile. So yeah, the Katushka, a fantastic choice, and it gets itself like half a level of veterancy and 4 kills on the first barrage. And like, if you just look at the minimap, that is a Katushka-able blob right there, right there. So Jove playing the Soviet pieces to their advantage. Oh, this Panzer IV kind of in a risky position. I don't like engaging it. Oh wow, but focus sight is not on the SU-85. That's such weird stuff. It seems the players at the top end of the game just don't like focus sight, which is just weird. Oh, this Panzer IV needs to make itself scarce though. The SU-85s are good, man. They're still good. They're still good. Oh, taking a really sluggish line out. The SU-85 may get this kill. He may, yeah, he's going to get this Panzer IV. This is nice. Here comes an AT grenade to snare it. Oh, there we go. It's abandoned! Oh my goodness, this is terrible times for the Axis player, but he manages to tag it with a Panzer Shrek. My goodness. But things are beginning to fall apart a bit here for Chess Master. I feel like he developed his plan nicely, moved into a great position in the middle of the map, fortified it nicely, got a great composition up to the Panzer IV. But after that, I'm not sure I agree with getting the second Panzer IV, and I think he needed to continually evolve his strategy, mix in some other units, bring some other facets to his army. He has no Werferman. That would have been a nice choice. He could have gone for a Panther. That would have been a nice choice. And I feel like he was just kind of relying on this setup. Like, this is as far as his game plan went for Chess Master, and I worry that he needs to, respect the fact that his opponent's composition is evolving by changing up his own plan, because what was a very effective position and composition against his opponent's army as it was like 10-12 minutes ago now is not so efficient. You know, Jove has had time to observe this position, observe his composition, and Jove is like evolving his army to deal with it, and that's why we see the SU-85, that's why we see the Katushka, that's why we see the mortar squad. So, oh dear, another Katushka barrage coming down, doing some more good damage. Let's take a look at the veterancy on the Katushka. Boom, 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 boom. You can just see as each rocket lands, this veterancy just kind of bop, 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 just spikes up. Oh, and he's unlucky not to make 1-star veterancy on that barrage. He's like a pixel off. And that, of course, would have enabled him to... Oh, okay, that's not so cool. I thought it might have been the rate of fire increase. Anyway, 5-star Volks here, absorbing a surprising amount of flame to the face. And the Panzer IV really wants to try and support them. And this is, again, see, I just get the feeling like HOI-Chess Master is a little bit flustered right now, just trying to fight too many fires, just having his attention split in too many places. And I feel like he's just kind of coming undone. He needs to come up with a plan and stick with it. Now, does he have his okay, yeah, so the Leichter Mechanized Company, or sorry, the Mechanized Regiment HQ, has just finished in this location. He has 181 fuel. So I'm guessing he's going to save for a King Tiger. This has the feel of an overcommand who's like saving for a Hail Mary King Tiger. I don't like this choice. It's going to take him 4 more minutes to get the fuel for a King Tiger at this present rate. And if he doesn't buy or spend any other manpower over the next 4 minutes, he'll have the manpower for it as well. But I mean, he's going to be spending manpower because he has to reinforce all these squads, which are, oh my god, see, look at this concentration. Is the Katushka ready to fire again? Nearly, but you have to think as soon as it is, I mean, this is just ideal Katushkaing circumstances. These Volksgrenadiers just being inactive, there we go, there they go. They need to get on out there. So, like I say, I just kind of feel like HOI-Chess Master is just kind of stalling right now. I feel like he's just kind of frozen up a little bit, like he's like usually wins by now but hasn't and needs to make some different choices. Now he's got 203 fuel, and he could I mean, let's review the options. Oh, Katushka firing. Let's frame the Katushka barrage. Oh my goodness. So yeah, he could buy the Jag Panther. So that would be effective against the Su-85 and the KV-8 and the Katushka if it could find it, but it doesn't really allow you to push and it doesn't do anything to infantry. You could buy a Panther, which is effective against all targets and is reasonably expensive, but it's also very manoeuvrable, and that would suit his current needs because he needs presence around the map and he needs to respond to wherever his opponent deploys his units. The Panther is also a very good counter to a KV-8, so I think a Panther is a good choice right now. He could get another Panzer IV, not so sold on that. He could get a Puma. A Puma looks good right now, actually. I think a Puma would do quite well. Puma can totally take out an Su-85. I mean, like this Su-85, okay, if the Su-85 was like down here like it was when it found that Panzer IV, a Puma would totally do it. You could take 1 hit, or even 2, I think, off an Su-85, get round to its rear armour and just kill the Su-85 if it's unsupported. And you know, a Puma will also help out against the KV-8, and you can also just throw the Puma behind the lines, you know. Like, for example, he could run it like, imagine the Puma's in the middle of the screen. He could run it like up here, around here, whoop, down here, and like, I don't know, just throw it into the backfield, hope he doesn't meet any resistance, and just take out the Katushka, which, like, when you're in a desperate situation like this and the Katushka is doing you a lot of damage, a gambit like that can be worthwhile. So that's like a thing he can do. So flak half track, no. Werferman would be a decent choice. Werferman would allow him to have some counterfire. He knows his opponent has like some concentration of forces out here because he keeps seeing it every time he comes forward. So that would be an interesting choice. However, I still just think on the balance, the Panzer 6, Panzer 5 has got to be the best choice. Mine's in a good position there, really taking the wind out of this overcommand advance. And the Ziskan's going to use a barrage, but that's actually just a little long. I guess it's aiming... Yeah, it's just a little long, so unfortunately not really going to get a lot done. These oversold Dart are going to stay for a little while longer, just going to get 1 more star of veterancy, and then I believe they'll probably fall back. Oh no, actually it looks like they're going to be forced back before that star of veterancy. And if he coordinates his Katushka barrage with the fallback of German units, this is when you use it. If you see a lot of Axis units falling back, then you hit the battle group at HQ with the Katushka barrage, because there's loads of really low health, high value squads here, which can just be taken out by a stray rocket falling in an unlucky place, and Jove knows it, so he takes the barrage. This is good stuff from the Soviet player. Now let's see if he gets a lucky rocket here. Ooh, that's a good hit on the Rakettenwerfer. Oh, it seems like he's been cruelly cheated by the spread there. Cruelly cheated, no squad wipes coming down. Those would have been game-breaking squad wipes, I think, for the Soviet player. Losing a 5 or 4 star unit of infantry at this stage in the game when you're gasping for manpower as overcommand is really bad. So that would have changed things up big time. So anyway, looking at the scores, I mean, he's still ahead. Such was the advantage he was able to gain in the early game. HOI-Chess Master is still ahead by like 70 odd tickets, 71. So like, that's just, I mean, that's just testament to the fact that looking after the tickets in the early game really buys you time. I mean, like, he can sit like this for a good long time unless Jove breaks his position. So, like, you know, it's far from GG here for the Axis player, but I feel like he's one bad Katushka barrage away from dying. And Jove knows it as well. There's another Katushka on the build queue, and that, I think, if there's no response, 2 Katushkas will level this position. Like, that'll just be too much, I feel. I just don't think there's any answer for the Axis player right now. I mean, like, he needs a Panther or something. He's going to go for a Werferman. Oh, risky times. Here comes the aim. So where's this going to go? Oh, he tried to find the Katushka, but Jove heard those rockets firing and got it the hell out of there. And now we've got 2 rocket trucks for the Soviet player. I mean, wow. Chess Master, wisely enough actually, I like getting the Werferman because he still has enough fuel to get a Panther, but he needs to get that 490 manpower. I believe it's 490. Yeah, 490 manpower for the Panther, and that's a tall order right now. That is a tall order. How much is a KV2? 230 and 630. Ah, but Jove doesn't have the unit cap for it. A KV2 would just be fun. I haven't seen one for ages. It would just be a nice unit to see. Anyway, Katushka's going to start fire. Are we going to see the double barrage? Nope, just one for now. And actually aiming at a slightly forward position, looking to catch this advancing Axis infantry. And, whoa, the second Katushka is going to fire here. Brutal losses coming down. Brutal. This Storm Pioneer squad needs to get out. I am amazed that no squad wipes came down there. Yep, there he goes. Finally a squad wipe comes down for the Soviet player. And this is a losing battle, I feel. I'm not sure I see a way out for HOI-Chess Master here. I mean, he could send... He needs to fan his infantry out rather than just trying to headbutt through and get the Katushkas. Wow, he picks up a squad wipe there with the Obersoldaten. That's quite nice. And the Kettenwerfer trying to force this SU-85 back. Nearly did, in fact. An artillery barrage coming down from Chess Master. He's using the zeroing artillery, but it's not actually getting anything done there. So that was a lot of munitions. That was 300 munitions. Oof. Costs a fair bit. Conscripts here going to be repulsed by teleminefields in a good position there. That's using the old fortifications doctrine to good effect. But yeah, the real problem with these Katushkas, and look at the amount of vehicle repair stations back here. 3! Oh my goodness. Jove, clearly familiar with using this commander in the late game. It's really nice to see, actually. So anyway, yeah, Pack 43's just kind of being useless. Here come the Katushkas again. I mean, if there's no other targets visible, Jove will just fire them here, because he knows he's going to get hits on stuff that matters here. Oh dear, these medics are having a bad day. The Pack 43 may go down, it just needs one more hit. The Werferman's going to go for some counter fire, but you know what, the Katushkas are miles away. There's no way Jove is going to get caught out here. Katushkas, there's just no way. There's no way a Werferman is going to get a lucky hit on those Katushkas. No way. Oof. And you know what, the SU-85 looking to punish. Well, the SU-85 gets taken out here by a Rakettenwerfer and the Panzer IV, so that's a nice pickup here for the Axis player. I'm not sure if that changes anything. A KV2 is the replacement. Woohoo! Yeah! For those of you who play StarCraft, this is basically a siege tank. You can put it into siege mode and it just gets like massive range and has huge AoE attacks, so it's a pretty spicy unit. I was going to say, with the SU-85 down, the Panzer IV could take a dive and try and find all these units, because there's very little in the way of anti-tank, but the KV2 is pretty good. Pretty good against medium tanks. If it gets a hit, it will stun, it does gratuitous amounts of damage, so yeah, it's pretty powerful tank. So where's he going to choose to deploy it? Look at that thing. It's just so unwieldy, like who on earth designed that? It's even got, if you look closely, there's a little machine gun covering the back of the turret here. Just a little gun there, just in case anyone's thinking of coming up behind you. Why not? Just stick a gun there. And here comes the Katushka. Oh goodness me, the Pack 43 gets decimated. 5-star Volksgrenadier is getting decimated. The health on the battle group at HQ is kind of getting low-ish, not super low, but I think that was a double barrage. The amount of rockets that fell there, was that the double barrage? That was a double barrage, yeah. So yeah, up to 2 stars now for one of the Katushkas. I believe that increases rate of fire, it certainly does. So we can look to see more frequent barrages from one of those Katushkas, and he's going to leave them here. Now, where's that Werferman? Is he going to try and take a counter barrage here? Not yet. He's not actually ready to do so. Still recharging that ability. But yeah, like I say, I just feel like HOI-Chess Master has just run out of steam here. I mean, the victory points for the first time in a very long time. In fact, maybe this game, Jove is now ahead. And I just think, Chess Master, you just need to abandon this position. Who cares about this position anymore? I mean, the forward fallback point is nice, but it's not nice enough to be worth like anchoring yourself here for. So you just need to just abandon this position and throw all your units one way or the other. Just go north, go south, do something. You've got to make a move here. Maybe he's waiting to get the King Tiger out before he does so, because he's nearly there. He needs, what, 700 manpower, 790 manpower? Oh, of course, it's a call-in, so I can't tell you the cost on that one anymore. Oh. I think it's like 780 manpower, or 700. It's like 700-ish. More than somewhere, but I don't know how much more than. Less than 800, more than 700. So he's getting there in terms of manpower. He has the fuel. So, you know, we're gonna see the big cat, and that's gonna be the last hurrah here for HOI-Chess Master. And you know, it may be enough. You know, King Tigers can do some pretty good stuff. And the King Tiger is, if there's one unit that you can just push forwards behind and throw into your opponent, it's probably that. And a King Tiger can probably deal with these two units. It can probably, and if it finds the Katushkas, if it ever finds them, if Jove is foolish enough to allow the faster rocket trucks to get caught by it, then you know, he can take out the Katushkas. So anyway, here comes the King Tiger. Pintle Mount upgrade coming down on a good timing, so that's going to be ready. More Katushka barrages landing here in this crucial position. Oh, these oversold are actually not out of danger. Oh dear, if a rocket falls in them, that will be brutal. A 4-star squad of oversold. They've got 35 kills. They have been quite good this game. Rakettenwerfer gets taken out, but that's okay. You can deal with losing Rakettenwerfer, especially when you've got a King Tiger coming in. So, right, what's the plan? What's the plan, Chess Master? Let's just sit back and see what he decides to do with this King Tiger. He's going to move it for now forwards. Can I follow this one? How do you follow and take? I should know the shortcuts for this kind of thing. Follow camera. Whoop! Whoop! Oh wow, you can follow the camera. Wow, you can see the player's camera. Oh wow, you can literally... Oh wow, this is something that you can do in StarCraft, which I had no idea you can do in this. Wow, so this is literally what Jove is looking at. We're seeing right now the Jove eye view. If I turn on Fog of War as well, we can get a realistic Jove's eye view. There we go, so this is what Jove is actually seeing right now as the Axis Onslaught comes down. We're looking at this through Jove's first person's perspective. Wow, you can do this in the StarCraft replay editor. So he sees the King Tiger, he definitely knows it's here. I'm going to take off the follow camera, take off the Fog of War, and resume just a casting mode if you like. The Panzer IV gets up on top of the KV-2 and somehow starts doing gratuitous amounts of damage. 2 Panzerschreck Volks are here as I rotate the camera back to the correct orientation. The KV-2 is going to go down for like nothing, I feel. Panzer IV needs to get one more hit. Oh, gets a bounce there, so it's not dead yet. And the King Tiger has it. Its engine has been totally destroyed. There's a Zisgun working on it. Look at how slow that thing is with an engine destroyed. So yeah, this Panzer IV is doing fantastic work though. Although here comes some conscripts. They're going to get the AT grenade onto it. That's going to destroy the engine and kill the top gunner, which is no small issue. Which is that main gun that's been destroyed there. Yeah, main gun has been destroyed. So. That's pretty bad here. The big cat's being forced back, and Jove has totally held this. He has totally held. He has absolutely held here. That's a good hold. The Katushkas are still just doing work. The KV-2 actually survived, and that's just going to be chilling here at the back, repairing on all the repair stations. The Katushkas are just bombarding the big cat, because why not? Getting some good damage in as well, actually. And getting some good veterancy up on those Katushkas by now. So, it didn't work. It didn't work, Chess Master. Moving the King Tiger forwards to here and throwing the Panzer up into the north didn't work. So, what do you do? Balls in your court again, buddy. Let's have a look at the point of view here from HOI-Chess Master. Let's see what he's up to. So he's just kind of frantically moving around repairing his units. He's probably looking to get some Storm Pioneers out. I mean, look at the top right. He's got 3 squads of infantry left. It's not enough. Gonna have to fall back those oversold out, and he's kind of looking to do some stuff here. But I'm not sure. I'm not convinced that he can get anything done. So if I go to Jove and select the follow camera. So now we can see Jove. Yeah, see, look at the minimap. Jove plays from this crazily rotated version of the minimap. He plays with his forces in the south and his opponents in the north. Very interesting stuff there. Very interesting to know that the #1 player chooses to play with a non-standard camera perspective. And the King Tiger is going to be taken out here. Too many other forces. The Zisgun here just doing work. Eventually it's going to get a penetrating hit. And this thing can't move really. The Katushka barrage comes down. And the front armor on the King Tiger is mighty, but is it mighty enough? Nope. And the KV-2 is going to smash it. KV-2 gets set up in siege mode. So this thing's now ready to be in siege mode. Oh, sorry, no, it's just gone back into movement mode. So it was in siege mode there to destroy the King Tiger. And wow, I mean, this one has to be over, right? I mean, You know, like I'm not gonna try and big up a game that is basically over. I mean, that would just be disingenuous as a caster. I mean, I'm struggling to see the way out here. I'm struggling to see the way out here for HOI-Chess Master. If he couldn't do it with a King Tiger, I don't know what he can do it with. I still think he should have got a Panther and not a King Tiger. Like, putting all your eggs into the King Tiger basket is a really risky move. I think a Panther would have done much better against his opponent's composition. And now it's like 48 supply and 83. He's got 3 squads of infantry. Yeah, he's got 5-star oversold done. Yeah, he's got 5-star volks. But the Katushkas are raining fire and there's no answer for them. He's forced to deactivate his fallback point and pull the squads back out of danger. He's kind of just scrubbing around here with a Panzer IV and a Werfermann and not a lot of choices. I mean, at least his manpower income's nice and high now, so he can actually look to reinforce, to bolster his infantry squad units by buying some more volks or something. But this KV-8 is still doing well. The KV-2 gets deployed in siege mode in a great position. That's going to siege down this... Oh, wow, he's going to go for the oversold dart. Boom! Look at these shells. This tank does not mess around. And... oh! Nearly gets the squad wipe on the 5-star oversold dart, and a fantastic round there just splashes on into the oversold dart. The battle group at HQ goes down. Just one building remains now for the Axis commander. And Jove here is just really flexing his muscles. One of the Katyushas is ready to fire again, so that's going to maneuver up and take another shot. And yeah, yeah. Let's crack the tack. Let's crack the tack. Yeah, I'm not really sure what additional analysis I can offer here. Jove needs to capture that solid victory point. There's some storm pioneers just kind of being annoying, taking that one. But Panzer IV is actually going to catch this KV-2, and that's... I'm not quite sure why the KV-2 is this far forward. A Raketwerfer is also going to deploy. Surely the KV-2 needs to fall back, right? Oh, look at the damage it does. It's like a third of a Panzer IV's life in like one hit. And that's not in siege mode. I suppose the shots are the same actually, it's just the rate of fire and range that changes. Storm Pioneer is going to get the hell out of there. I would love it if these conscripts would just move up and capture this point. So, whilst it may be a little possibly rude and a little presumptuous of me, I'm going to move ahead and kind of discuss like the post-game analysis kind of thing, because I feel like this game, I just don't see it. A Puma? Really? Okay, I quite like this choice. Fair enough. The Puma's actually reasonable. But I feel like Chess Master is basically out of this game. So I'm going to just kind of move ahead to the post-mortem, as it were, and discuss what went wrong. Now, if you recall, Chess Master got deployed into a fantastic position right here. He had the battle group at HQ here. He had the Schwerpanzer at HQ here. Oh, sorry, it was the other way around. Battle group at HQ here, Schwerpanzer at HQ here, the Pack 43 bang in the middle. Everything was looking nice. He was commanding the victory points. His army was superior, and the Soviet player Jove was struggling to take engagements with the KV-8. And then Chess Master never evolved it past there. It's like that was his end game, and he would just kind of floundered when Jove was able to adapt his composition to overcome this position and the units that Chess Master had. So, what could he have done differently? Good question. I think the second Panzer IV was incredibly questionable. I don't think that was a good choice at all. The first Panzer IV already had everything a Panzer IV could do covered. Like, the second Panzer IV just didn't really add any more value in my book. I think he would have been much better off getting a Panther or even a Jagdpanzer at that point. Would have been much better. The Jagdpanzer would actually have been quite a spicy choice. Now, the Pack 43, was that a good choice? How much does it cost? Storm Pioneers are the guys who build it, so build. Cost 500 manpower, so I don't know, because I think that Pack 43 just never really did anything. I mean, it kind of helped keep the KV-8 at bay, but I think the Panzer IV sort of had that covered anyway. So I'm going to say I disagree with the Pack 43, and I think you should have put that manpower into, like, I don't know, more Volk squads would have been good, or, you know, more oversold darting squads, or, you know, there's a lot on that, or even 2 light guns. 2 light guns would have been really good, actually. 2 light guns would have been much better, I feel, actually. And wow, the KV-2 should be coming and pulling this Panzer IV. Oh, the damage on that thing. So yeah, I'm going to say I disagree with the Pack 43. I think that could have been, like, 2 light guns would have been nice, or just more infantry. I disagree with the second Panzer IV. I think that could have been a Panther, or a Jagdpanzer, or a Werfermann at that stage before the Katyushkas were out would have made a big difference, I think, because he could have started shelling his opponent's base or something, although I still think the Werfermann inferior to another Panther. So, yeah, those are the things, and then, alright, but let's assume that you've made the second Panzer IV and you've put your Pack 43 down, and, you know, and so you are in the situation that HOI-Chess Master, as he leaves the game, that HOI-Chess Master found himself in. So, what do you do if you find yourself in that position? Well, I think that rather than just like limply defending this position and getting Katyushka'd slowly to death, which is what happened here, I think that you've basically got to say, you've got to acknowledge to yourself, holding this position is a losing proposition. So you've got to just throw all your forces one way or the other, or just ball up all your forces and try and send them through mid. And I don't mean just grab all your units and A-move them in. I mean make a concerted assault, send like a couple of squads up here, send a couple of squads up here, come through like the Panzer IV to the north or south, bring through the Obersoldat and then some guys here, then try and like pincer in with the Shreks on the Volks and bring the Panzer IV in from an unexpected angle, try and catch some units. You've got to try and make a play, because sitting back and holding that position, you're losing on victory points, you're getting Katushka and just bled slowly to death. And like he was doing that for like 20 minutes or so. Like, so I think at that point you've got to say to yourself, doing this is losing me the game. I might lose the game faster doing something else, but I have to try something else. So I think I would have just tried something ludicrous. And hey, even if most of the time that would fail, and that's fine. I don't mind rolling a gambit and failing when the alternative is a slow death. So that's fine. That's fine. I think that would have been an acceptable way to move forward for Chess Master. But I think the main mistakes, as I say, was the Pak 43 and the Panzer IV. I just don't think that those provided any value, and they just kind of made him entrenched into a position which just wasn't any good, really. So yeah, I guess that would be my analysis. But by all means, share your thoughts, because I think Chess Master got off to a great start there, and I don't think it all went wrong at any one particular moment. I think it was just a slow decline and stagnated for him. So what would you have done differently? I'm keen to hear. That would be really interesting. So anyway, yeah, for now, that will bring today's casting to an end. My throat is rather sore, so I'm going to go and make another cup of tea, I think. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the days to come. Thanks very much. This is Magpie842 signing out.